So this one's the Kia 2014 Sorento. I did a recovery several days ago. They had to do the front core support, which is this plastic piece here. So they had to take out the radiator and condenser. As I came in, this is the same shop on the B&W 2000. Outside I have my other vacuum pump and other set of gauges on it. Two of the employees here are also having me do their AC since it got hot yesterday. So I pulled this down to 125 microns with Navac 12 CFM with the 3/4 inch vacuum rated silicone hose. And for those who want to know the model number, this is the T16 is the model number, rated down to 3 microns. This is my to-go vacuum pump. Nothing I've ever had before. Well, actually, if you get a molecular vacuum pump, which you cannot use on cars because of oil contamination, and there's a couple other kind of really high-end lab vacuum pumps, they can even go down even lower, below. You're getting into the tens of powers of microns, where you go 10, 3 to the 4th power, 8 to the 4th power, something like that. That gets ridiculously low. Those are different kind of vacuum pumps that guys in HVAC and automotive don't even know exist. There are things that are usually only used in laboratories. But as for standard vacuum pumps for this industry, this is the lowest one I have that goes for HVAC or automotive. So we're down to 130 microns. I'm ready to fill this one up. This is one of those vehicles for you guys who only work on older cars and haven't got newer cars yet. If you're not familiar with heat exchangers, again, for those of you who watched my videos in the past, you already know this, but for you new guys, if you follow, here's the suction line, here's the liquid line. But if you follow this over, you'll see right there, the liquid line is going into the suction line. It goes in. So the liquid line is going in here, and they literally put a pipe over a pipe. And if you notice a little bit, this pipe is a little thicker than this pipe at this junction point. This is where the liquid enters from. So here's your hot liquid gas that comes off the bottom of the condenser out of your receiver dryer, and it enters the cold suction line coming back. So the refrigerant flow is going back this way cold, but the liquid high pressure hot gas is going in this direction. And so as it enters here, there's little fins, little tubes, little fins going all the way around in a circle, going all the way around inside here. So the liquid literally follows along, and the heat gets absorbed out of it by the cold gas returning to the compressor. And then it comes back out over here, as you can see, and now it has a higher BTU capacity per pound of refrigerant to do more work. It makes the system more efficient. They started releasing these on cars in the last several years before they introduced YF refrigerant. You have the part of trying to increase gas mileage and the EPA part of having smaller refrigerant charges. So this is part of their thing to make a system more efficient. So they're going to this system. Now this is nothing new. A system like this has been used in commercial HVAC, refrigeration for decades. Since, before I was born, before my father was born, this kind of system has been used. But on cars, no. This is the kind of system, my dad used to make up a system like this for cars that were being shipped out to the desert in his shop back in the 70s. When cars would come in on the train or on the boat, and there were big fleets going to like Arizona, Nevada and stuff like that, they would come here to San Francisco on the docks, go down to his place, and back in those days you had metal lines. And what my dad used to do was either you added a secondary small sub condenser, or he would make up lines out of copper, and he would literally braze this copper line to the suction line, make it out of copper, use silver brazing, silver brazing rod and literally braze this line to this line the full length, and then go into the evaporator. And he was doing that back in the 70s on custom cars that were going to desert areas, that were going to live their life there. So this is not new technology. It's not complicated. It's not over the top or any, you know, nothing like that. Really old, really simple, bonehead kind of stuff. So now you'll see majority of these on the new YF refrigerant here in the United States. And because the YF refrigerant is a little bit less efficient than the R134 we use here, which was a little bit less efficient than the old R12 refrigerant that we used to use. And so as the years have been going by, they've been making more and more efficient condensers and evaporators and other controls to make up for the less efficient refrigerants. I really wish they'd just switch over to propane or butane, R290 or R600. That would eliminate this problem. Put plate heat exchangers. If they really want to be careful, they can keep all the refrigerant out here. Put a glycol plate heat exchanger, and then just circulate cold liquid into the evaporator and keep all the flammable propane or butane out here, which would be no problem at all. Why? Because it would only be like 3 ounces. And think of it, a couple Bic lighters worth of butane or propane under the hood, and somebody goes, oh my god, that is so explosive, that is so dangerous. You have more flammability potential of your transmission line having a leak and spraying transmission fluid onto the exhaust, catching on fire, power steering fluid, your engine oil. You sit on 15-20 gallons gas tank filled of liquid petroleum, and somebody is going to have a heart attack and complain about 3 ounces of propane or butane in an air conditioning system. Get real. Okay, so I'm about to fill this up. This one was 500 some grams, and god, those hammers are driving me crazy. All right, so I'll get back to you. I gotta look up the fill. This was this had an option for dual air conditioning and single. I remember the dual was 625 grams for the dual. For the single, I don't remember. I gotta go back to the sticker. They didn't put the new sticker on here yet. Catch you in the next video.